Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Tracy Show. My name is Tracy. It is Tuesday, September the 24th. We got a packed show for you. You see the title. I'm going to pay a couple of bills first before I get started. Remember, let's go down here, over here. So, subscribe. I am at 281. That means I am 19 subscribers away from 300. We can do this, you guys. I could actually be sitting at 300 subscribers by the end of this month. Please subscribe. It literally costs you nothing to subscribe. It's free. Also, make sure to hit the notification button so you can get alerts when I go live. But please subscribe. Again, subscribe. Support our GoFundMe or my GoFundMe fundraiser. I am trying to raise $1,500 because I had a light go out, and a new light costs money than I have. And of course, it's not $1,500 per light, but I also need a microphone, editing equipment. I want my website back and to pay for StreamYard for a year, and that comes to $1,500. Any amount is appreciated. You can always go to https gofund.me/169 8B as in boy 793. I'm still looking for people to follow me on Rumble. I need 4 more followers on Rumble. Remember, I am contemplating taking a couple of programs over there, but essentially I want to podcast on, let me get this right, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, and my Facebook page. Those are the 4 places that I want to podcast live at, but I can't do it until I get 4 more followers. So please go to my Rumble page and then become a follower. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. Support me on Patreon. Patreon start at $2 a month and they go all the way up to $35 a month. When I get money, I actually use it to buy equipment and those type of things, and to try to keep this channel going. So please support me at Patreon. Remember to like this video, share this video, and please comment. If you're out there, just comment. I am looking forward to comments. And you can always comment after this goes live. I'm not even going to make promises about how long this will go, because I always say I'm going to go 45 minutes and I end up going an hour. And then I say I go an hour and end up going 54 minutes. So not going to make any promises today, but you see the title. You saw the thumbnail, hopefully. And I'm going to be talking about today why I believe that Kamala Harris is in for a loss. Now, I know what you're going to say. It's not October. And why are you making this prediction? There's a couple of factors that I think we need to keep in mind. Now, I don't expect this to get a whole lot of replay on the algorithm. So please share particularly this one so that people can watch it. And you don't have to agree with me. This is my opinion. And we can take it from there. So, again, there are some core issues that I just think there's no way that the campaign gets around this. Now, of course, I don't want Trump to win. Let me make this clear. I don't know why when people make criticism of Harris, people automatically assume that means you want Trump. That does not mean you want Trump. You can criticize two terrible choices. You can criticize Trump and you can criticize Harris and still be considered an American. There's no rule that says that you have to vote for two terrible candidates. So, I'm getting some water here. That. So please, I know I have trolls that always watch the show. Don't come on here with the you're just bad mouthing Kamala because you're jealous and blah 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 blah. No, nobody's jealous. Trust and believe. Um, Nobody is. Well, of course I am. I always criticize the Democrats because they were an unsalvageable party, in my opinion. Um, but let's get to it. So I am going to read some polls um, that I found today. I'm going to try to screen share and keep my fingers crossed that YouTube doesn't kick this video off. Please, YouTube, I'm begging you, don't do this. And I'm going to talk about um, the Janet Jackson debacle that the Kamala Hive, the K Hive is making, that I'm just like, yeah, I need to sit down someplace and shut up. So I'm gonna look at these. I'm gonna look to see if I can bring up my first poll. Okay. I'm sending out a notice to get my viewership a little bit up. So we're going to go to the first poll we're going to talk about is the New York Times Siena poll. Now this is an article, so I'm just going to try to like highlight like a section of this because I don't want to read the whole article at all. So let's see, can I share it? And again, YouTube, I'm begging you, please don't take this down. Please don't take this down. Okay, so we're gonna present our screen here. And you would think I would be better at this by now, but I'm not. Okay, and this is by Vox, VOX, and they're reporting a New York Times Siena poll. And I'm just gonna read this paragraph, these two. One takeaway is that through those polls are generally worse for Harris, the Pennsylvania result is actually quite good, better than average. Overall, the Keystone State polling has not looked great for Harris since she entered the race, leading many to take many takes about her purported Pennsylvania problem, second guessing about whether she should have picked the state's governor, Josh Shapiro, as her running mate, and a belief that the Electoral College math gives Trump an advantage. The Times, however, essentially points to a parallel world in which the electoral bias doesn't help Trump and may even help Harris significantly. The Times has not polled Wisconsin or Michigan this month, but their polling of other states last month shows Harris up in those states in Pennsylvania by 4 points. And I said I wasn't going to read the whole thing, but I do want to talk about the number, which I thought I had here. Well, dang on it, I know it's here. Oh, well, I hate when I can't find something, and I literally just had it. 45, 38. Y'all just made. They had the numbers in here. I promise they did. Rain down New York, but still blah 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 blah. Well, shoot, we gonna stop sharing because I know it was there, guys. I know it was there. So we're gonna go to another poll here. This is a CNN poll. Now, this one I know is a CNN poll, and thank goodness they just show a picture, so I don't have to really And it doesn't say when the poll was taken. So we're going to share this one and then I'll talk about why it is I'm sharing all of these polls. And then I'll look in the background. So if you can see this, it says there is no clear leader in the presidential race according to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. 14% of likely voters say they could change their minds or are still undecided. Likely voters who say if the election were held today, they would support Harris 48%, Trump 47%, Oliver 2%, Stein 1%, other 1%. If you add up 2, 3, 4, you're going to hear a whole lot of comments about how Oliver Stein and other took Kamala's votes. Yeah, no, I already think that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing. And I'm reading it because apparently when I put it on the screen, you all can't see it. So I'm going to try to make these bigger. So, and this one is a national poll. This one is by Emerson Polling. So this is not the battleground states. This is just like all states. And remember to put up your comments here. And like I said, I'll get to the point of why I'm sharing these polls here in just a moment. Okay, so as you can see, I'm gonna make this bigger. Well, it's not gonna become any bigger. Harris is, and this is a national poll in August of 2024 because I can't find September. Harris is leading 50%, Trump 46%, and undecided 5%. So let's see this on this screen. Yep, you can see it on the screen. Stop sharing that one. I got a couple more to show here. Okay, this one is about I'm trying to find the battleground states. That's where I had it, but apparently here's one from ABC that's coming up. Hope it's not a video because y'all know YouTube loves taking me down for a video. I believe this is another national poll. So if you're out there watching and you got some polls, just put them in the comment section. Because again, I'm going to talk about why it is I'm doing all these polls to make my point about no way Kamala, because y'all get an attitude about how people pronounce her name, um, is going to lose. So I'm getting to my point. Trust and believe I'm getting to it. So this is another national poll. So we got, turn this down. Nope, can't share that. Nope. We're going to close that. That's a video. Yep, YouTube will take it down. You okay? Well, I'll just tell you because yeah, they got that's a video, and I'm like, nope, not gonna chance that. So the poll says that Harris is leaving 52% to Trump's 46%. Again, these polls are not saying um when they were taken. Um Now this one has to be of concern. So this is a let me see. So this will be my last one, and then I promise I'm gonna get to my point. This one is from the Magnolia Tribune, which I'm just gonna assume is in Mississippi because Mississippi is the Magnolia state, I think. Don't quote me on that. Um let's do another percent. And then this will be my last poll. Nope, not that one, not that one. Okay, so these are the states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So let's just see where we're talking about. So we're talking about in Arizona, Trump is 51.1%. Harris at 44.7. He's got a 6.4 advantage. He has an advantage of 4.8 in Georgia, 47.9% to Harris's 43.1%. In Minnesota, no shock, Harris has a 3-point advantage, Trump having 41%, her having 44%. In Nevada, Trump has an 8.6 advantage, beating her 49.5% to 40%. Wow, that is a big, big leap. North Carolina, you can tell this was taken before the. Let me see when this was done. I'm gonna go just see when this. Okay, so this is July. So this is old. Okay, so this is old. So July, this is done July 2024 to September, but I'll keep going. So North Carolina has a three. He has a 3-point. He had a 3-point advantage at 46 to 43. Pennsylvania, Trump at 3.8 at 49.2 to Harris's 45.4. Virginia, Harris had a 2.6 advantage with 42.3. I'm sorry, Trump having 42.3 and Harris having 44.9. And in Wisconsin, Trump 0.1% at 49% for Trump and 48.9 if I could read. So there's a couple of reasons why I want to talk about polling. If we take all these numbers at face value, except for the last one because it was taken in July, I'm wondering why certain pro-democratic podcasts like Pod Save America, Kyle Kalinske, a Minus Touch are all like Harris has this big, huge lead. That's not what I saw. I saw the exact opposite. I saw at best it being a close race, but there's of course some reasons I think she's going to lose. And here comes number one reason. Trump underperforms in polls. Now you don't have to agree with it, but I'm telling you this as facts. If you remember 2016, when he first ran for president, he underperformed in just about every poll. Every poll had Hillary winning by huge numbers. And, well, we see what happened. It could be that he underperforms in polls because for some reason the people who are likely to support him aren't even surveyed in these polls. That's another reason why you had to have a cautionary tale about polls, because you don't know who it is that they're talking to. Are they just talking to people with landlines? Are they talking to likely voters? Are they talking to new registered voters? Are they doing a sample of all of them? You don't know who they're talking to. So it could just be they're talking to, likely voters again, who may not be forthcoming for some odd reason. They may not want to say that they are supporting Trump. I don't know why you would do it, but it's a theory, right? It just could be, they don't want to seem, they don't want to be, they don't want to argue, they don't want to discuss. They know they're going to vote for Trump, but they'll say Harris. That could be, although that's probably not one of the ones that I would think is a top one. But again, you had to think, who is it that they're surveying? How old are the people are they surveying? What's the racial makeup of who it is that they're serving? So that's a major reason why I try not to. I mean, I pay attention to the polls, but I put all of those caveats in there because there's too many variables, right? There's no way for me to know, okay, did they survey 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 5,000 people, 4,000 people? What time of day did they call these people? Was it early in the morning when they're just waking up and going to work? Is it when they're at home and they have kids yelling in the background and they're frustrated and they're just answering questions and not really thinking about it? There's so many factors in these polls, and that's all polls. Like I said, I pay attention to them, but I don't put very much stock in them because of all of those things that I just named. There are some other issues that I think this isn't gonna go well for the neocons, and that's what Harris is, a neocon. Immigration. Trump is, again, this is a poll, so again, all my concerns do go into this. She gave a very poor answer in the debate. If you remember, Trump asked her, which I thought was a good question, like, why did you wait 3 years to do something about immigration? And that's a good question in terms of asking, because literally they just wait. It's like they waited right until election time to figure out, you know what? Immigration might be a problem. Where were you at the 3 years when you were the border czar and told people not to come? That question still hasn't been answered, which is partially getting to my second reason, the economy. Now, I know what people are about to say. Unemployment is low. Do not trust the unemployment numbers. There are so many reasons to not trust the unemployment numbers. Number one, what the Biden administration did, and it's a fact, is they counted jobs that were lost to COVID and came back as new jobs. That's not a new job, right? That's not a new job. Those are just jobs coming back from COVID that the economy got back. So you can't count those as new jobs, although that's what they're doing. They don't take into account that people have maxed their benefits and they can't get unemployment anymore because their benefits are gone. They haven't counted the people who have just stopped looking for work. Those factors make the unemployment. I don't care who it is that's president. I'm trying to get this off of my screen, and I'm sorry. I don't care who the president is. I don't trust unemployment numbers because there again, you have all those factors that get into it. Don't trust them. The economy is terrible. How do I know the economy is terrible? 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That's how I know It's terrible. I haven't heard from either candidate about, job creation. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard build onto infrastructure. I haven't even heard about the CHIPS program. Um, just don't believe anything about the unemployment numbers. They're just not a good measurement. The stock market is another one that you cannot use to measure the economy. Who If 61% of American people are living paycheck to paycheck, how are they investing in the stock market? They're not. The stock market is for the elites. It's not for me. It's not for you. Their stock, the Dow Jones or whatever it's called, going up and down doesn't dictate the economy. As a matter of fact, sometimes they want, high unemployment numbers so that the stocks can go up. Or they may want low unemployment numbers to make it easier to buy stocks. You cannot trust the stock market to determine whether or not the economy is doing well. You also can't use the few and far between success stories. Now, trust me, I'm all for starting your own business. I definitely am. That's what I'm trying to do. But you can't, you can't use that. Well, you can, but not in the way that the Democrats are thinking. So they're using, all these people started their own businesses. Yes, they started their own businesses because there were no jobs to be found. So they started their own businesses out of necessity. And you can't use that either. So the economy is terrible. I just wish people would just say it and stop using all of these things that play no factor. Another one, inflation. Now, I am not an economist. I don't have my bearings in terms of how inflation can or cannot play a factor in whether somebody is going to win or lose an election. But I can imagine if most Americans are like me, we're not caring about what the inflation rate is. Now, maybe we should. And you'll put in the comments that, yes, you should care about the inflation and it dictates interest rates or whatever those other factors are. And in that case, yes. But I'm saying, we're saying what Harris is trying to say is inflation is low, which can it be zero? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm not an economist specialist. Don't ask me. I just don't know. But to say it's lower than other countries surrounding us, I don't live in other countries. I live in this country. So you have to tell me how it affects me. Yes, I'm being a selfish American. Yes, I'm saying that you have to tell me how it affects me, right? You have to say, okay, the inflation is this, and this is how it affects you. It's a thing. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't have the understanding of how worldwide inflation affects me per se, because apparently the world is going through this great inflation, but the U.S. is at a lesser rate. Again, I don't live in those countries, so telling me that it doesn't register with me. And again, this is an issue. I said I'm not as educated as I probably should be. I just get tired of hearing it as an excuse. So, if somebody out there is well versed in how inflation affects or effects an presidential election, please tell me, because I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm supposed to care about worldwide inflation. I guess I care. But to tell me, well, it's lower than other countries, but it's still high. So it doesn't matter does it matter that the inflation of other countries is higher? I don't know. So again, you can tell me. So the next thing that I think is going to um, affect this campaign. And you know my number one choice is coming up here in just a moment, so I'm definitely going to talk about it. Another issue that I think is going to affect the election. So we've talked about the border. Let's see. We have our first comment. Hello, Nelson. How are you? Whenever I look at the numbers in the polls, how many people are voting Democrat or Republican just proves how many people are under the corporate control. Yes, that's so true. And again, you must have missed my whole rant about who it is they're surveying. Are they calling them in the morning, in the evening, on the weekends? Are kids in the background? Did the person have a good day? Are they really telling the truth when they answer these surveys? There's a whole lot of factors in it. So we talked about the economy. We talked about immigration. This one, yeah, this one, I believe is going to play a factor. Now, I know somebody that does not like Trump is going to say, well, Tracy, Trump does the same thing. The flip-flopping answers, I don't know what you stand for. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You were for Medicare for all, now you're against it. Like, how can I trust anything that you say? Your answers about why you changed your positions are terrible. You could either say, tell the truth and just say that, hey, Corporation X gave me this amount and that's why I'm saying it. Of course, you'll never admit that. Or you could say something that I changed my mind on was reparations. I haven't always been for reparations. But once I got educated, I was like, you know what? That was the wrong stand I had. Explain how you came up to that processing of completely reversing yourself on fracking, on Medicare for all, against defund the police, against green energy. Like, she has flip-flopped so many. It's like she's been turned over more than a pancake. She literally has been turned over more than a pancake. I can't even, like, I don't know when she says she's for. The one issue I know she's for, and I'm saying this because it's the only one I think she speaks of with any type of sincerity, is women's health and the access to abortion care. That's probably the only one that when she speaks, I'm like, okay, I believe her. That's it. She flips flops, and her answer on my number one was just so egregious. I'm like, girl, bye. I can't with you. I cannot with you. I can't with you. I can't with you. You are getting on my nerves with these answers. You're not answer questions. Well, there's no number on them because I haven't put numbers on them. You don't do interviews. Now, say what you want about Trump, and I have a lot to say about Trump. At least he did interviews. Sure, they're incoherent and you have no idea what he's talking about, but he'll do interviews with Fox, not CNN. I don't think he ever does CNN. JD Vance has been on CNN. So they're doing interviews. I haven't seen Tim Walz or Kamala. Where are they at? Like, are they doing interviews and I'm just missing it? Like, you have to, yes, you have to speak to the people. I get it. But you want to be president of the United States, you're going to have to sit down and take a hard interview and answer hard questions. She couldn't even answer softball questions by the National Association of Black Journalists. And they gave her easy softball little baby questions and she struggled. Like, if you aren't good at interviews, and not everybody is, get some coaching. Like, get somebody to help you to come up with better than the stuff you're coming up with. It is just so egregious not to sit down for an interview Are you kidding me? Yeah, I know people say that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it does. Because if you can't answer a question from a reporter, how are you going to sit across the negotiating table or like confront Putin and Xi and Kim Jong Il or Kim Jong Un or Iran and Israel? How are you going to confront them and you can't even sit down to do an interview with a reporter? That makes no make it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. There's other problem. There's no plan. Now people are gonna say this. I already can hear it in the background because I hear the trolls. Here they come. Oh well, she talked about building 3 million houses. She talked about limiting price gouging. Those are ideas. And there's a difference between an idea, which isn't a terrible thing, because it's better than having a concept of a plan, like Trump did on healthcare. Um, but what she has is an idea, not a plan. And I'll tell you what the difference is between um a plan and an idea. So an idea, like I said, is building 3 million houses. Well, how are you going to build them? You have to figure out how much it costs. No, you have to figure out, first of all, where you're going to build them. Are these going to be in the Midwest, in the West, in the East Coast, in the South? If you do build them all over, then the costs in certain states are going to be higher. How you're going to avoid the red tape? We all know there's red tape, right? We know that to build a house, you have to buy the land. And she said house or apartments. That's the other thing. Everybody keep that in mind. She said house or apartments. Apartments are not going to generate revenue for the states to use in terms of property taxes that fund schools. Keep that in mind, please. With this plan about the houses. Let's just say 3 million houses. We're not even going to put it in apartments. So you had to buy the land. You have to have the land surveyed. You have to hire a construction crew. You have to, I don't know what they call it when they dig, like lay the piping and the building the foundation. It's called something more technical than that, but since I don't know what that is, you have to build that. Is that going to be, what type of foundation are you going to have? Are you going to have the terrible piping that 50% of Americans have? Or are you going to get something newer that's going to deteriorate in 5 years? So assuming that it's of quality, and again, I have to assume, again, you got to buy the land, you got to dig for pipes, and then you got to, of course, put cement on top, and then you got to start building the frame. Then you had to have electricity. Then you had to make sure there's water running. How many bathrooms is it going to have? What are the criteria? Are we talking about families? Are we talking about single people getting homes? Are we talking about the government assisting in terms of a down payment? Because if you build 3 million houses and nobody can afford the down payments, you've literally built them for nothing, right? Because no bank that I can imagine is going to finance these homes without some significant down payment. Now, of course, you could have grants to community organizations that assist with down payment assistance, although I don't believe we should be using credit scores anyway to obtain a home, but that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. Who is going to get the down payment money? What type of means testing? You know it's going to be means testing. It's going to be based off of income. You're going to have to come up with at least probably 6 months pay stubs. Or people who are homeless, are they going to get priority over those who are not? Is it going to be people with incomes? Is it going to be how long you have to be on your job? So again, there's a difference between an idea, let's build 3 million houses, and I plan like we're gonna do this, 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 and this. And like I said, there's nothing wrong in saying, hey, this is my idea. Because again, but at least on your website, have some detail for people that want to read more about it. All I see on their website is like maybe 3 bullet points the last time I went. I'm not seeing detail. Another idea I have the whole problem with is price gouging. Am I for um grocery stores charging whatever it is they want for items that people need? No. But how are you going to enforce this? Prices, again, eggs in Indiana and eggs in California are two different prices, right? Because the market is different. Are you talking about controlling it at the supply issue? Because it may not be the grocery store itself that is causing those prices to spike like that, right? It could be that the supplier is hiking their prices, and then that's making the grocery stores hike its prices. I didn't hear her say anything about what I think is the source is this whole supply, the people that are supplying it. Do I think prices are high? Absolutely. But again, there's a difference between a plan and an idea. She's got ideas, but she has no plan. And that's what I need to see. I need to see the plan. Now, what you're going to say is, well, Dr. West doesn't have a plan. No, 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 no. You need to go to his website and see where the theory is and where all that is. You can't, like I said, I'm going to say it again, there's a difference between a plan and an idea. Well, I'm to my number one why I think she's going to lose, and it's pretty simple: genocide. Genocide is going to cost the Democrats the Senate, the House, and the presidency. They won't win they won't win any of those. Condoning genocide is the most atrocious crime I can even think of. For her to try to double step and do this in between, like, I'm going to say we support Israel, but you have to be concerned about Palestinians. No, it don't work like that. There's one way to stop this conflict. Stop giving Israel money. Stop it. Stop selling them bombs. Just stop. That's a one sentence, which she's not willing to do. And she promised the most lethal military. Why, as a peace activist, would I be comfortable with a person saying they want a lethal military? That is a sickening idea. I mean, we've been funding these never-ending wars, like Ukraine. I said it is a never-ending war for too long. And for the people who say, well, you got to fund it, just you remember that Ukraine wanted to come to the negotiating table with Russia, and you know who stopped it? The Biden administration. Facts. They're facts. They are. Am I saying Putin is just the greatest world leader of all time? Absolutely not. Am I saying that this whole list bomb China because apparently they're doing something to us that I don't even know? Let's go to war with them and Iran and I think South Korea. Just go to war with them. Who's fighting all of these wars that she's talking about? Who is out here just saying, you know what? That's what we need, more wars. There's not that many people unless they plan on bringing back the draft. That may be a possibility because military enrollment is down. If you look at the overall numbers, military enrollment is down because young people do not want to sacrifice their lives to kill people who they've never met, had no issues with, and they're opposed to war, so they're not enrolling in the military like they used to. You have some that are going to go because of the free scholarships that the military gives out. But this whole war culture, and she's worse than Trump. I mean, Trump is a war hawk, and if he gets in, he's going to perpetuate all these wars also. But he's not. He's not saying it in the viciousness she's saying it in, right? Because that's where I'm getting at. It's like, nah, I just, it makes me uncomfortable when politicians start talking about going to war. We should be like promoting peace, like moving towards peace, like living with other nations in peace. You know, again, she's talking about lethal militaries and expanding the military. 50 cents of your dollar is spent on military expenses now. You want it to be more? I'm predicting a loss. I just literally am predicting a loss. Now, I know, of course, people are going to say, no, that's not right. You don't know what you're talking. I've been wrong before, but I don't think I'm wrong this time. I literally don't. So I said I was going to talk about the whole Janet Jackson fiasco. Y'all better leave Janet alone. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna try to find this because she did an interview with The Guardian, which is a United Kingdom paper, and they asked her about the election for some reason. Um, and apparently in the interview, she said, they asked her about Kamala Harris. Am I pronouncing her name right? Kamala Harris. I think I am. Kamala. Yeah, I'm just gonna call her Harris. That's what I'm gonna do. Just VP Harris, possibly becoming the president of the United States. And she just said, "Oh, I thought her father was white." And so the reporter says, "No, her father is Jamaican." And she's like, "Oh, well, that's what I heard." The vote blew no matter who. Little Kool-Aid drinking people done got on my last nerves. Y'all done came for Janet. For real. You're coming for Janet. You're ditching her. You're saying she should apologize. And so far, thank goodness she hasn't apologized. Don't you apologize. Don't you apologize. You have nothing to apologize for. Just because you are black does not mean you have to vote for VP Harris. You do not. You can vote for another choice. That's your right. She didn't even say that. She didn't even say, "Hey, I'm not going to vote for her." She just said, "Oh, I thought her father was white." I mean, her grandfather. See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going. I'm not going to argue with y'all. It's like y'all just trying. Y'all just trying it and trying to say, "Oh, you should just vote for her because she's black." That is not a reason to vote for somebody. I don't know why. I don't know why you would think that's a reason to vote for somebody. But you coming after Janet, icon Janet, who established her own career while being in the shadow of the greatest entertainer of all time, who happened to be her brother. And y'all know I'm talking about the King of Pop. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Y'all just stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Put the Kool-Aid down. You all are drinking it. She wasn't even criticizing. I don't know what this comment means. Fit check? Don't know. Fit check. Don't know what that is. She wasn't even saying, "I'm not going to vote for her." She literally said in the statement, "I don't follow politics." She's on a world tour. Sure, Taylor Swift is on a world tour and she endorsed Kamala. Um, I guess that matters. But Okay. Um, why? Why does it matter? Here's what Vote Blue, no matter who does, that trips me out. First, they'll say, hey, celebrity endorsements don't mean anything. So ideally, Janet, who never said again that she wasn't going to vote for her, she just doesn't know who she is. Like most Americans. Heck, even I don't know who she is. And I know her name. Don't know how to pronounce it. But all she said was, I didn't know. The reporter corrected her. The interview moved on. But her Vote Blue, no matter who, sits there and says, hey, I don't know what's going on. You can't criticize this. It's so stupid. You can't use your platform. She can use her platform any way she wants to. If she wants to use her platform to promote or not promote Harris, that's her prerogative. You have a platform. You've decided that voting for a genocider is perfectly okay, and you have no problem with it. But hey, whatever. I mean, that's what you've decided. And because some of us have come out against that, you berated us. I hope she doesn't apologize. I hope she doesn't. Stand your ground. Stand flat-footed against these Kool-Aid drinking. This person is not. No, I'm lagging in person. I have no idea who they are. Okay, so I'm gonna try. I forgot how to block. I don't know how to do it, but I'll just ignore it. Yeah, stand flat footed. Do not apologize for expressing your opinion. If people don't like, you can't afford to go to her concert, no way. Because the economy is so terrible under the Biden Harris administration, like you gonna go to her concert. Like you got the money to go to her concert. She not stressing you. I hope she doesn't apologize. If she does, of course, that's her decision. But she has no reason, in my opinion, to apologize to these people. And there's a podcaster, and y'all know I usually don't attack. Well, sometimes I will attack another podcasters. Like, well, she fired her manager. She actually fired a publicist who issued a statement without her permission. Oh well, you'll learn next time. Um, she does not have to apologize. She did not do anything wrong. She said that's what I've heard. And it could be maybe she is a Trump supporter. Maybe she's a supporter of Dr. Cornel West. Just because you don't support Harris doesn't mean you're not American and you live in the United States. You can vote. There are other people to vote for besides Coppola. You don't have to vote for Coppola Harris. You do not have to vote for Harris. You could vote for Dr. Cornel West. You could vote for Jill Stein. You could vote for Jasmine Sherman. You could vote for Chase Oliver. You could vote for Donald Trump. I think what Vote Blue, no matter who forgets, is that we have choices and we don't have to abide by your choices. And this whole, well, she's just anti-black. Look, we know Janet is black. Period. Mama black, daddy black. We know it. And D.L. Hughley, she has a white nose. You don't have to, you're low class anyway. That was just unnecessary. Like, how did you go from making legitimate criticisms of Harris to now being like bootlicker? Like, when did that happen? Like, are they paying you to do this? I cannot. It's just, y'all don't make sense to me anymore. I would love to have a Democrat, because they'll probably never come on this show. Somebody that supports the Democrats, because I gotta ask why. What is it about her that makes you all just go to a celebrity whose opinion you shouldn't even be seeking in the first place And just because she doesn't say what you want, you just go all off the end. You can't take it. You don't know why she said that. Like really? Like she can't say that. She can't say what she thinks. She can't say her opinion. She can't say it because you say that we should be voting for Harris because she's black. I got a little bit higher standard than that. It's gonna take a whole lot more than her being black um to vote, make me vote Democrat. I still am trying to hide this. I'm sorry, guys. This comment is getting on my nerves. So, you know, it amazes me. I don't want to spend too much time on that because I feel like I said, don't apologize. Do not apologize. You have nothing to be sorry for. Um, you have nothing to apologize for. You didn't do anything wrong. You just said what you were thinking. And so they can do whatever it is they want to do and go from there. So I'm going to finally talk about a poll that I have going here. And so on my Thursday show, I have decided to bring back an old feature, an old thing that I used to do. And it's called Idiot of the Week. And Idiot of the Week, obviously it's self-titled and self-explanatory. It picks the idiots of the particular week. It could be outside politics, sports, pop culture, whatever. I had a hard time picking who it should be. So I let you all just say, hey, you pick it for me. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to put the link in the chat section so you all can vote on it. There is the link. You can go there right now and vote. Voting will close Thursday at about 6:55. I won't take any more votes, but I'll share my screen and show you all the choices. Share a screen. Now this is my page. So hopefully YouTube is okay with me sharing my own page. So I created this 2 days ago. Who should be the idiot of the week? Mark Robinson of North Carolina for calling himself a black Nazi. Michael Eric Dyson for text flirting with Nancy Mace. RFK Jr., his digital affair with a reporter. Or JD Vance admitting he makes up stories for press attention. So far, I can't see. It's clear this one is just leading. Mark Robinson calling himself a black Nazi is leading. I'm surprised, though, that Dyson didn't get any votes and RFK didn't get any votes. But there's the poll. Let me take mine away. And I'm going to let you all decide. You know, I have stress, and I'm not going to stress anymore. I'm just not going to stress about who should be the idiot of the week. Nope. I'm just going to let you all decide. And I'm going to do that every week. So next week we'll have a different poll that'll come out. Usually I'll do it on a Monday and then announce the winners on Thursday. So just remember to go to there and vote. Remember to like this page, comment on this page, subscribe. I am 19 away from 300 subscribers. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe. I want to thank everybody for watching. I believe Thursday we're going to talk about not only who the idiot of the week is, but we're going to talk about some of my favorite cartoons from the 80s. Yes, I make that dramatic pivot from politics to cartoons, but that's what I'm doing. So that'll be on Thursday at 7. Remember, and of course, I'll still be doing my Saturday show. So remember to like this page, comment on this page, share this page. I'm going to do my outro, and we'll see you all next week.